Welcome into a special lunchtime edition here of the Jordy Culotta Show as we are joined by the Row Show. Rohan Davey here and with us inside of the UDL, talking a little football. We'll be working together this fall, looking forward to it. Formerly number 6 in your programs, number 1 in all of your hearts, the man, Rohan Davey. Good to see you, man.
What up, baby?
Good to see you, man.
What up, what up?
Lots to talk to about off-season, new offensive coordinator. My man has got his thumb all over recruiting because he's the best 7-on-7 coach in the state. He's seen them all. He's coaching them all. They're knocking on his door. They want to play for him. So he's got some inside info on some of these cats, on what makes them great. Ricky Collins, who we've talked a lot about on this show, picked up an LSU offer just over a week ago. Rohan's been telling me about Ricky for over a year. Been saying, watch out for this cat at Woodlawn, and all you got to do is turn on the film, and he is legit, man. We'll talk about some of these guys in 2023, including Collins, coming up. And it's been a debate here on the Jordy Culotta Show and publicly whether or not Derek Stingley Jr. will get offensive reps this fall. We'll ask Ro what he thinks there, man. Summer days. How are you, bro?
I'm good, man.
Yeah, what's going on in your life? I see you at Traction working out one-on-one and doing quarterback lessons. I know you out there working the streets and construction and concrete. You're just busy, man. What's how is life right now?
Oh, everything good. Blessed. Ain't complaining about nothing, JC. Everything good, man. Kids healthy. Mom's doing well. Girlfriend's happy. Yeah, everything's good.
That
No
wasn't plural,
complaints.
was that? That was girlfriend.
Nah, just one.
Girlfriend is happy.
I've been let go of the multiple girls a long time ago.
I bet you have.
It was
man.
over.
What about the we've talked about Micah here. We had Frank Wilson on a couple weeks ago, and him and O were doing a joint camp, and we talked specifically about Micah for the first time because he had signed his letter of intent and was down there in Lake Charles. Watching him grow up at University High was pretty cool, calling his games on the radio and now seeing him where he is. He's big time, bro. You've got to be proud watching him play.
Yeah, I am. I'm proud of how he just took to the end of the season last year. It was all seniors last year had a tough go at it, man. Just COVID, and thankfully they got a chance to play some football. But
They should have beat St. Thomas more.
yeah. I mean,
Huh?
listen, you know, the end of that game was so crazy, man. And you know when a kid has no regrets about a game,
Right.
especially when they're a senior and you just played your last game, and he was, choked up, but he wasn't crying. And, the thing with that is, and I looked at how much he played that game. He played defense. He played offense. He played all the special teams. And so, I mean, you play over 80 snaps in your final game. It's nothing for you really to be,
Yeah.
sad about.
Yeah.
You laid it all out there. So that was good to see. I'm proud of the fact, man, that when Micah finished the season last year, he was 243 pounds. When he was done, 2 weeks after the season, banquet tour, eating, just chilling.
Right.
And, he had what I call a come to Jesus moment, he and I, of just, it's time for you to get serious. You can't go into, I don't care where you're going, if it's McNeese, LSU, wherever, you can't go in there at 243 pounds and expect for the coaches to look at you as someone that could come in and make a sudden impact, even though you are a good player. So what I got most excited about him was he started training with Ken. He started training with Clay, Coach Moffitt.
Clay Moffitt at Traction. I saw him every day over there, man.
Clay's a monster. Yeah. I knew what Clay was because of his dad and how he trained. See, the Moffitt that you see now, that's the toned down version.
Right. Yeah.
Compared to when he first got here and he was really trying to make his mark and he was full of piss and vinegar.
Yeah, and you had him real young.
That's what I'm telling you. That's the Moffitt that I know Clay is. And so that's why I sent my son to him.
It's a great testament for Clay.
Dude, my son went from 243 pounds. His reporting date was 2 weeks ago. The Monday before he reported that Friday, he was 226 pounds.
Wow.
A week before he had a report, and body fat went down, jumping. So, Clay did a great job, man. Yeah. He did a great job. Ken did a great job with him on his movements. And then now he went down there. They was looking at him, touching him. They didn't even know what they were getting.
Right.
Coach, they didn't really see the guys because of COVID, couldn't come see him. So when they saw Mike on film, they thought he was going to be a Mike. I said he went down there. They moved him outside because now you're lighter. You can run. You understand coverages. You can cover. So we'll see. I'm excited for him. I'm excited to see just what direction he decides to go into, because I know he's taking it very, very serious. So I'm just excited to see that he's giving himself a chance.
Yeah, Frank Wilson's reaction when we asked him about it, you could hear him. He was like, "Oh shit,
I stole one here."
Oh, wow, yeah, he ain't supposed to be here.
Yep.
You are, as I said, you're coaching 7-on-7 now, and your reputation has fastly grown within the state as one of the best in our area. You've seen all of these guys come through here.
Yeah.
You had Walker Howard on your team early, and I know that recruiting got a little wild for him, so he took a step back.
Right.
Tell me what you think about Louisiana's best quarterback in this class.
This is a tough class, man. Not just the 2023 class is tough with
Arch
and Rick
Holstein
and Holt, and it's a good.
Is Ja Eugene Jr. in that? Is he in that discussion?
Yeah, a little bit,
or more of a DB.
More of a DB, but dual threat. The best in the class.
This year is Walker, though, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think about his game?
The difference between Walker and everybody else is he understands when to make throws. It's a difference. Some guys get back there and they just throw it. Guys get back there and if they're even, they try to put it over the top and make sure it makes the wide receiver make the play. Walker's ability to understand when to throw a number 2 ball, when to throw a back shoulder ball, when to put it over the top and fade the wide receiver, and his understanding of coverages. He understands how the front ties into the back. And because of his dad, of course, Jamie, partner of mine, he understands all that, and he's a coach's kid. So, and this is the other thing about Walker, dude. Walker's like, he's like a silent assassin,
he's a killer.
man.
Yeah, you can tell.
Like that dude has that thing in his chest, man. Like, if you still got a little pulse in you, I'm gonna stick it in you a little bit deeper.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And that's what you want from your quarterback, from your pitcher.
Ooh, I get you.
You know what I mean?
But we just had a cat like that, so it'd be nice to get one back.
Yeah.
Oh, Joe was the
alpha.
Joe
of the
don't
alpha.
even. Joe's in a whole nother.
Is he comparable to Brady? You played with Brady.
Joe?
Yeah. He is. Have
yeah.
you ever seen anybody that you would comp to Brady besides him?
Joe's in that category. He still got a little bit way to go, but he's there as far as the cerebralness. I was talking about Joe the other day to Coach Peetz, actually, and just the cerebralness. Joe had the wide receiver scared of him. Joe had the wide receiver scared to crack jokes. Like, Joe was all about business and winning, and that's it, man. And nothing was going to deter that. Same thing with Tom. Those two guys, and I was privy to be around Tom for a minute.
Yeah.
And was around Joe for a minute. But
he was a hungry motherfucker.
No, they
Brady.
hungry.
I mean, he was young, huh?
Tom's still hungry.
Yeah.
That's the thing, man. This man
He don't
listen,
get full.
he don't get full. He has a different mentality. Really does. He has a different mentality. Some people want to start playing football eventually, and no. Tom's one of them guys that I believe that if he believed that he could pay to make his body stay this and play for as long, he'll do it. Mm-hmm. He loves it.
Yeah. You mentioned Jake Peetz and different. He feels different. What's different about him?
Energy, man. Just attention to details. And not saying that the guys there weren't before. It's just he got a whole different energy. He's a quarterback. He understands that I need to have a great relationship with my quarterbacks. He understands that my quarterbacks need to be a reflection of me. They need to be in my head. When I call a play, they need to understand what I'm saying. Like he gets it, honestly. Like he gets it. That's why, when these head coaches, man, and to Orgeron's, I guess give him some credit for hiring these guys, the P's, the Andres, bringing these guys in. The young, energetic, knowledgeable,
relatable.
Yeah, man, that could relate to this generation.
Sure,
that's one of the biggest things is be able to talk to these kids and talk to these kids in a manner to where you're respecting them and you're not just using them for the value of why you brought them here, which it's education or whatever, but it's to play football and to bring more spotlight on the university. And also, if the kids well enough, they go on and have promising careers, so on and so forth. But Coach Peetz, is exactly, and not only them, also the guys that they brought in on defense.
Yeah, Durante Jones, man. Andre
Carter. He's probably, in my opinion, besides the new offensive lineman coach.
Brad Davis.
Oh, I love Brad Davis, man. Like, I just met him twice. No nonsense guy that Baton Rouge guy, as you pointed out.
From Bel Air.
And just loves the purple and gold. And what I like about him is it's almost like when you look at him, the players, his guys, when they walk in the room, it's instant, like, respect. There's nothing about him that says you're not going to respect me. You know what I mean? When he speaks to you with that candor, where he respects you. And, to get respect, you got to earn respect. And that's what it looks like these guys are. I love the coaching staff. I love Coach Peetz because he's a and this is the other thing about him. If you look at his tree, right, you look at where he's come from. All his things come from, and then it also goes to Chip Kelly, and it goes to Peyton, and it goes to Bill. So, and then if you look in the NFL, who's all using the same kind of system, it's like 16, Detroit, San Francisco, Chicago, Carolina, Kansas City, all those guys are disciples. So now you have, 6 teams, it's 32 NFL teams, so all quarter, right? Using the system. So now this is the biggest thing with it. If they're using it in the NFL,
right,
and we're using it in college, and there's only 6 teams in the NFL that are using it now, it's going to be more. It's going to continue to go. So why wouldn't your recruiting tool be you're coming into an NFL system? Look at the NFL. You have 6 teams already that are running this system. So when you go into the NFL, it's still a learning curve, but it's not a bigger learning curve as you going in and knowing already that,
absolutely.
I may get drafted or go to a team that's already installed this system. Because and in Cincinnati, Joe's put it in up there.
Right.
So.
With Zach Taylor.
Yeah.
Who do you like this year at quarterback? How do you like this quarterback competition with Johnson and Brennan?
I think you have a guy that deserves a shot to try to win his job back, so to speak. I don't think that there's a huge discrepancy between the two, except for the mobility.
Okay.
And in Myles' favor, the arm strength compared to Max's, because I think Myles has a stronger arm than Max does. I think Max is more mobile than Myles is. I think that based on Myles' start last year, man, his first 3 starts and being out there, he deserves an opportunity. I personally think that the ceiling for both of those guys aren't too high. I think that they both have, not both, I think that Max has a learning curve of playing inside the pocket. I think that he's a little too quick to get outside the pocket. I think he moves a little too much sometimes and put them linemen in positions that he's really secure. And I saw this bunch in the spring game. He's really secure in the pocket. The offensive line, to me, is one of the strong points of the spring ball and spring practice. And I think he was hunkered down a little bit sometimes and just got antsy feet and just got out the pocket a little bit too many times just when he just sat in there and, make the throw. So I think with Max, it's going to be the same learning curve as you had last year. Because I totally believe that I don't think I saw everything I needed to see from him, me personally, to say, okay, this is our guy going forward, the next 3 years or so. And I understand that Myles is going into his senior year and they may not want to, play him because Max has a couple more years, his brother coming in, and I don't know what that
dynamic
entailed and the dynamics. But I honestly believe that, man, with the talent that's around us, you need, in my opinion, probably that senior with Max in the wings to, if Myles starts out like he started out last year, I think we'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Because, with the offensive line coming back, I think that's one of our strong points this year. Secondary coming back with the defensive coordinator that we just brought in, I think that we won't have the debacle like we did last year at the beginning, giving up so many points.
Yeah.
So I personally I like both quarterbacks. I really do. I do like both quarterbacks, but in my opinion, to probably start the season and to where they are coming out of camp, I'll probably go with Myles.
What do you think of there's been debate on Stingley Jr. playing offense. What do you think of that, and would you do that?
I personally wouldn't. You know what I mean? You do have some guys that are exceptional talents, that are exceptional athletes. I guess the last one I could think of was like Charles Woodson, besides going back to Deion. It seems like they've always been DBs.
Right.
I personally don't think we need him at receiver or at the offensive side. I believe that, you could put him over there and use him as a decoy or something like that on a certain play. You're trying to hit somebody else. But me personally, if it's a certain situation or special play, I don't think anyone I don't think any defense, if you bring a Derek Stingley out there, that they're going to let him beat you.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? So that's why I say, as a decoy, maybe. But I don't think that bringing him out there just to throw him a hitch or to throw him
makes any sense.
Whatever, makes sense. Now, if you're designing something and you're trying to get him a Heisman moment and you send him deep, and that's where we are, we're late in the season and he's up for the Heisman, and, we want this kid to win the Heisman and we want to showcase him on offense a little bit to help us, chances of winning, then I'm for that.
Sure.
I'm for that if you want to give him that opportunity. But I'm not for, like a kid going out there doing something that he's not used to doing. And with him possibly being, or not possibly, he's a top 5 draft pick if he stays healthy. I mean, all that has to be taken into consideration.
I mentioned the 7-on-7 stuff, and the F3 elite team that you are coaching and in charge of is fastly gaining a reputation as one of the state's best. What are you learning on that circuit? How cool is that circuit? It seems like you are very much in your element out there.
Yeah, I like it. Shout out to Ken Anio, man. That's my partner who brought me in on it, actually, 7-on-7. And we created a really good thing going into year 2, next year, year 3. I love the circuit, man. I like the circuit. It's just like everything else, there's things you don't like about it. I don't like, the refereeing sometimes. I don't. It's not just, it's just, they don't all know the rules.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? So it's not like them calling
just check collecting.
flags. Yeah, it's not like, I don't mind calling flags. I mean, I don't care about that. I get on them sometimes, but I don't mind them doing that. That's their job. It's just when they don't know the rules, and then you calling something, and then we have to correct you, and then you can't go back and do it again. It's not like you could overrule it and all that. So that's the problem. You're just like a governing body with that, and that's kind of like where we're going with it. We're gonna have our own 7-on-7 governing body where you're coming now. It's our event.
Rules.
Yeah, you're gonna play by our rules. And so Battle Pylon, we're gonna compete with Battle and Pylon and all them for this 7-on-7 thing, because it's especially here in Louisiana. Now it's taking off. I know the bootleggers have been in town for a long time. Now it's so many more teams, man, coming about, and it's kind of like you just got to get on it early and kind of identify, have the good tryouts, and have the kids come in. It helps us that they got some pretty good quarterbacks here, and they all want to come train, and they want to be a part of it. So that definitely helps.
How much do they recruit you now, college coaches? How much is it on the 7-on-7 circuit?
They own it.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. I didn't know how big it was, and I understand why some of the high school coaches aren't really, for it.
Yeah.
Because listen, man, it could get like AAU basketball.
I bet.
You know what I mean? Where everybody, they want, hey, bring this kid. We want to see this kid. We want to do this and that. And the challenge for us, Ken and myself, is to be able to not fall into the trap of, bring this kid over here, but just doing what's right by the kid, regardless of who it is, what university it is. Of course, I'm partial towards LSU, but it doesn't matter if it's, SMU, McNeese, LSU, Alabama, Clemson. Doesn't matter. We try to keep them all and treat them all the same. It's hard.
Yeah, I bet, man. I bet it's been pretty impressive to see in just a short time span the talent that y'all have attracted. I mean,
Yeah.
we brought up Walker, but Ricky Collins, who you have talked about a lot, earned his LSU
He did.
offer
I
a
was
couple of
happy
weeks
for
back.
him.
I know you were, and a lot of people that are around him say that has been a long time coming because he is has been one of the state's best kept secret up until the last couple of months.
Yeah, I think so. Rick's real good, man. Rick's super talented, super athletic, super competitive, very competitive kid. And now he has tough skin. You know what I mean? So you can coach him, very coachable. Yes, sir, no, sir. Always wants to go against the best.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
we'll
That
be
Tyrann
at-
Matthew quality.
Yeah, man, we'll be at 7-on-7, and he'll get the schedule and see who we're playing, whether or not they're nationally ranked, whether or not who they have. Like when we played the Bootleggers in New Orleans, he went through the schedules like, "Oh, coach, we got the Bootleggers second. Don't start me. I want to play this game." You know what I mean?
I'm on the schedule already.
Yeah. And he went out and did his thing. Rick beat the hell out of him, 36-6, and that's when they had, their squad. They had a nice little squad. And Rick and Shelton and all those guys, they came to play. So Rick has been the only thing that they've been saying is holding him back this whole time is that long
Got a little hitch in his giddy up.
delivery.
Yeah.
But this is the thing, man. It reminds me of Byron Leftwich.
Uh-huh.
The only difference, and this is not a negative with Rick, because Byron Leftwich is now offensive coordinator
Tampa?
in Tampa.
Yeah.
And I've spent time with B. Left. B. Left is also one of the most intelligent quarterbacks I've ever been around.
Went to Marshall and was drafted drafted him. Was it
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville.
Uh-huh.
He was Randy Moss's quarterback in college.
And so Rick, only difference is Leftwich at his age at this time was more polished when it came to reading defenses. Right? So now that big long, and then Rick's tightened it up a little bit too. It's not long as well. And this is the other thing with Rick's delivery. He gets through it so quick that you notice it, but he gets through it. He comes off that back and explodes through so quick when he lets it go that
It's kind of being picky.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
You know it is.
It's a lot like Justin Fields' delivery. Like whenever they were going through it, it's a little like that. Just he dropped it
He
down
comes
just a
through
touch.
quicker than Justin, though. He comes through, but he's also longer than Justin. You know what I mean? Ricky, bro, we'll see this year because they have a lot of talent on that team.
They do.
But they also have a great schedule. I mean, they got Catholic, they got Scotlandville. So you're going to, Zachary. So you're going to see whether or not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be a thing with him and Holstein face off. It's going to be a thing with him and my other guy, Daniel Beal at Catholic.
Yeah,
when they
youngster.
show up. Beal's going to be a monster.
He's a monster.
He's going to be a
Cat's
monster.
got
Different
a
kind of
cannon.
quarterback. Yeah, different kind of quarterback, but going to be really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
Peter Wright's kid's a good quarterback, too.
Yeah, Brooks.
Brooks
yeah.
Wright's a good quarterback,
Brooks
too.
my guy. Brooks, you know the thing with Brooks, bro, is Brooks is he's a really good athlete.
Yeah, is he a safety?
Yeah.
Yeah. He'll come up
He's
and
a
hit ya.
really good athlete.
Bro, this is cool, man. It's noon. I know you got to go. Thanks for doing this. We're working together in the
Absolutely.
fall. Quarterback, he's doing some quarterback training that I've seen him doing. He's over at Traction. If people want to get in touch with you, are you open to that on training the quarterback? Are you too busy? Yeah, let me shut it down. All right. Never mind.
Never mind. Mix your shot.
All right, this was cool. We will be back possibly this afternoon to do a rundown. Stan Van Gundy let go in New Orleans only after 1 year in coaching Zion. Griff and the crew, they are back up against the wall. It's a huge move on who's going to be next. So we'll have some stuff to talk about. But this was cool. Rohan Davey in with us talking some football. Thanks to Go Chevrolet and for everybody out there. We'll be back with you tomorrow morning.
Yes, sir.